Dudes and dudettes, how are you guys? This is Chazzy and welcome back to Chazzy's Top 10, the segment on this channel where I take a completely random topic and do a top 10 list about it, what I consider to be the best or the worst of something, I have done quite a few of these already, different topics, but today, I'm going to be kind of doing a reboot of this segment here, because if you followed my channel for a long time now, maybe just a few years, you will have seen quite a few top 10s, and they have always been structured in a different way, usually they get very, very long, like upwards of 40 minutes or so. I have been trying to work hard on that to lessen it, I feel like those videos get very unnecessarily long because I like to go into detail, and usually I recorded them over there, in a whole different setup facing my living room, but because I have this new style here of recording, I think I said editing before, I meant to say I recorded the videos in that segment there, and a different visual style, to give it more of a kind of like a little variety on this channel. But because I've been liking the idea behind recording this way here, what's a lot easier. Every single one of my videos on this channel will be this way now, except for the shorts, so I'm also going to try to make every top 10 video starting from this one considerably shorter than they usually get, and today I'm going to be covering a topic that sort of kind of builds on my last video reviewing Back of the Net, a movie that actually took place mainly in Australia, and I figured, hey, what better way to follow up that video there by talking about the most dangerous animals found in Australia to illustrate the point of why I would never in my life visit this country no matter what, Australia is actually home to some of the most dangerous animals around on the planet, but like you're going to see that, making a top 10 list is not enough, there are actually many more. I could probably do a top 15 or top 20, but let's just stick with what I consider to be the top 10 most dangerous ones, I very infrequently do these top 10 videos, I don't know why, because they are a lot of fun to do. I like researching, editing, and recording, so I'm gonna try to be doing them a little bit more frequently from now on. In case this is your first top 10 video here on my channel, this is not a traditional top 10 in a sense where I literally count down what is like the least best to the actual best, I just do them in a different order that I find more fitting, so, starting off with the most obvious one and just working my way down, but there is a specific order, so yes, just bear with me here, okay? So now, let's begin talking about what I personally consider to be the 10 most dangerous animals found in the continent of Australia. Now, for these first 5 animals, we're going to take a deep dive into Australia's oceans and other miscellaneous bodies of water, and the first of them is what I consider to be probably one of the most famous, animals on the planet, and possibly one of the most dangerous as well, the great white shark. The great white shark is an absolute apex predator with very few other animals in the ocean that can stand up to it, Only orcas are known to actually be able to be threatening to great whites, and female great whites can grow up to 20 feet long, which is freaking insane for a goddamn fish, and also weigh upwards of 5,000 pounds. Again, it's a fish, man. But despite being so big and heavy, they can swim upwards of 16 miles per hour, so good luck out swimming that thing, especially if you're a surfer. The scariest part though is that great whites can live up to 70 years, man, It takes like the females about 30 years or so, 33 years to become sexually mature and produce offspring, but all in all, great whites can live up until like they're 70, which I think is just way too scary, And unsurprisingly, they are very dangerous to humans, and they are actually responsible for more human bites than any other shark, Even though that the attacks are rare, they are responsible for the most fatal attacks on humans, even though there are only about 10 shark attacks per year, But of course, the vast majority are in Australia, This shark is very famous, and because of Steven Spielberg's 1975 film Jaws, many people thought that the great white was a man-eater, it was very vicious and bloodthirsty, which is not the case, But I just personally wouldn't risk swimming anywhere in Australia because of these things, I do not want to risk it. I'm gonna stay the hell away from those things, But if you're a surfer and you want a little bit of a challenge, maybe go surf off of the coast of, Australia or something, but yeah, I'm good. The next animal is also one that is found within the waters of Australia, you know, might be just as dangerous as a shark, the box jellyfish. Also known as the sea wasp, there are a total of 51 different species of this jellyfish found in the world's oceans, you know, which is really frightening if you consider the fact that these are the most venomous jellyfish on the planet, you know, and the very simple fact that there are more than 51 of them is just crazy. The largest and most venomous is called the Chironex fleckari, which I already did a video of specifically of, you know, some time ago if you want to check that out later. This is by far the most dangerous jellyfish in the ocean because its sting is so deadly to humans that it can kill a person in 2 minutes or even less, you know, because of cardiac arrest. So if left untreated for too long, you can use homemade remedies like vinegar to kind of lessen it, and even like I do believe that there is an anti-venom, but usually let's say like I don't know, maybe 80 or 90% of the time you're not going to get to a hospital fast enough for the anti-venom to be applied, you know. And since 1883, which is when they were started to be reporting on the deaths, there have been 79 fatalities because of this jellyfish sting, you know. It can swim a little faster than other jellyfish, you know, it's really hard to spot in the water because it can also be a little transparent. So there's a reason why it's called the sea wasp, man. There is no jellyfish in the world that has a more potent and dangerous and painful sting. So if you happen to see one of these in the water, just, you know, you can try to swim away, but it might be easier just to pray that it doesn't get you. Holy freaking crap, man. My mom was stung by a jellyfish once. Not this one, of course, but it already hurt. So imagine the box jellyfish. Next up is your friendly neighborhood 8-legged friend, the blue-ringed octopus. This octopus is actually one of the most dangerous and venomous marine animals known to mankind, despite being only between 5 to 8 inches long. It does look pretty, you know, I will admit it is a very attractive animal to look at, but beware because it is highly toxic. As a matter of fact, you know, they are usually docile, but they can be dangerous if provoked, and their venom has this thing called tetrodotoxin, which is a very powerful neurotoxin, very dangerous to humans, and your body can completely shut down and even become paralyzed and give you trouble breathing, you know. And now there is a possibility for you to survive if somebody can help you breathe while the toxin is removed from your body, but it's very fatal, man, you know. Like, you need to be in the company of a specialist who knows what to do, or possibly be very close to some kind of medical emergency. I don't know. If you are stung by this octopus and you can very quickly get to a hospital, there is a chance for you to survive. Not sure how many deaths it's caused per year. I don't know what the statistics are there, you know, but this octopus is very dangerous, you know. Not the biggest kind, it's not like a giant octopus, it's not like a kraken or anything, but it is still very dangerous. And if you see one, just, you know, well, usually by the time you see one and it gets too close, it's already too late for you to do anything. But like I said, it will only attack if you provoke it, try to handle it, you know, pick it up or touch it or pet it, you know. Who the hell would ever want to pet an octopus? I don't know, but there are, you know, I don't know, man, there are crazy people for everything, you know. And it's kind of funny because the octopus is just, I've never looked to octopuses as something dangerous, so I don't really know, but still, this next animal here is actually very similar, you know, because there is a chance that you can actually mistake one for the other, but this next one is a little tougher because you can even step on it if you're not careful enough, the stonefish. The scientific name for the stonefish is Cyanyansea. I don't know if I said that right, but I put it up on screen anyway. And it is actually the most venomous fish on the planet right now that scientists know of. And it's usually found in the coastal regions in the northern half of Australia, you know, so it's very specifically isolated to a certain location. And it usually lies motionless on the seabed in camouflage, you know, so you might mistake it for a rock or something or some kind of algae, which is when you can usually step on it, you know, and just by stepping on it, the venom can already eject itself from into your foot and the rest of your body. So it is very, very dangerous, and it might, just stepping on it alone might hurt because it's kind of like rocky, might even resemble a stone, you know. But if by chance it rubs up against you or bites you, it can also inject the venom that way, you know. And what's scary is that you're not safe from it even on land, because a stonefish can actually survive up to 24 hours on land as well. So you might even find one in the shallows in the sand somewhere and step on it, and that's where you will meet your maker. But now the venom can also kill, you know, but it can be treated with hot water or even vinegar around the area, which can actually lessen the pain. The hot water will cause minimal discomfort, and the vinegar will lessen the pain, but in extreme cases you might need to use the anti-venom, you know, because that will completely get rid of the toxin in your body. But usually by the time you get to anti-venom, you know, I mean, I do believe that you have about 15 or so minutes to get the anti-venom done, or else it's gonna be a very fatal dose to you, you know. So yeah, man, two freaking freshwater animals that are douches to humans. And now coming in at number 5, we have the first reptile on this list, the famous, the beloved, the very, very infamous saltwater crocodile. The saltwater crocodile is currently the largest living reptile on the planet. It can grow up to 20 feet long, so yeah, about the same length as a fully grown female great white shark. And the croc can weigh up to 2,900 pounds, you know, when fully grown. And now the thing is that usually these crocs are found in the oceans, but they can also wander in estuaries and freshwater areas, you know, so you can find them a little bit more inland. And be very, very careful, because usually when there are crocodiles in the area, there are warning signs telling you that there are some, so just be careful. Don't be stupid. Use Darwinism, you know, and survive, okay? If you see a sign, do not go near it, all right? Because they are hyper-carnivorous apex predators that pretty much attack anything that moves, you know. Usually they ambush their prey and drag them down into the water to drown them or even swallow them whole, you know. They will execute the death roll and just break chunks off, so you do not want to be killed by a crocodile, man. It's not a very pleasant way to go. And now, between 1975 and 2009, there were 24 recorded attacks on humans by crocodiles, you know. I'm guessing the vast majority, if not all, were fatal because it's a goddamn crocodile, you know. So, and despite being so dangerous to us, you know, they are actually still today threatened by illegal killing, you know, poaching and also habitat loss. So, despite being so dangerous to us, we are actually more threatening to them than the other way around. But still, if you are anywhere in Australia near a body of water, be careful, because chances are a crocodile is not only there in the area, but it has already seen you. And remember, they are ambush predators, so just be careful, okay? But still, I mean, we are now going to go on land. We're going to get away from the water portion, but still going on land in Australia to try to escape the dangers of the water is not going to help a lot, you know, especially when you have animals like the inland taipan. This animal is more commonly known as the taipan snake, and it is one of many dangerous snake species found in Australia. And it was first discovered way back in 1879. That was the first official registry of this snake. And then a few years later, in 1882, it would be described once again in a local paper, you know. But then it would we would have another 90 years, you know, before it would actually be rediscovered in 1972. By then, scientists started to fill in more information, you know, and it was mostly a mystery. But today we we know that it is one of the most dangerous snakes around because the venom is the most toxic of any other snake and also the most toxic by any reptile when tested on human cells, you know, so it is very, very deadly to us, no surprise there. One bite from this snake can kill 100 adult humans, you know, so it's not to be trifled with. And also, this snake is very, very fast, you know, one of the quickest ones in the wild because it can strike instantly and with very extreme accuracy, so very rarely it misses, and also it bites multiple times, you know, pretty much to ensure that it's going to inject venom with pretty much every bite, you know. Normally it tends to avoid trouble, it stays away from humans, but if you provoke it, it's going to attack and it's not going to stop until you're dead, you know. Usually it's found in the desert, you know, so, you know, try to stay away from the desert if you can because these snakes are just, well, they're not very friendly, you know. And speaking of snakes, we also have another one in the same member now, which is called the brown snake. The brown snake is easily one of the most dangerous snakes in the world because even the young ones can be very deadly to humans because their bites can already inject venom when they bite us, you know. Between 2005 and 2015, that 10-year period there, brown snakes accounted for 41% of identified snake bite victims in Australia, you know, and there were also 15 deaths that came from there, you know, which is more than any other snake around that scientists have researched. And also from 2000 to 2016, we're going to broaden that a little bit more to 16 years now. Brown snakes were responsible for 23 out of 35 deaths related to snake bite victims, you know, so yeah, they are really not to be trifled with, man, I would just say. Now, the bites are very deadly because they can cause, you know, sudden collapse, abdominal pain, difficulty breathing and swallowing, convulsions, among other symptoms, you know, so if one bites you, you're going to feel the effects pretty much immediately. And the eastern brown snake specifically is considered to be the second most toxic land snake on the planet, behind, of course, the one that I mentioned before, which was the taipan. So yeah, snakes in Australia are abundant and they are also very annoyingly dangerous, man. What the hell is with Australia, dude? And now the final deadly member of our slithery little family here in this video, we have an animal that combines the names of two very dangerous animals, so you already know it's pretty deadly and not very friendly, the tiger snake. This snake here is more commonly known for its, you know, banding around its body, you know, yellow and black stripes like a tiger, but they can also vary in color and patterns, you know, it actually depends on the region. And now, usually they are ground dwelling, you know, but they can also climb trees and into buildings, so be careful if you work in an office in Australia. Chances are there's probably a few tiger snakes somewhere there in the hallways, just be careful, okay? They are not very, they're pretty okay when it comes to slithering anywhere they want, you know? Now, the thing is that there is a reason why you should avoid them. It's because their venom has very potent neurotoxins, and also the symptoms after being bitten can include pain in your feet and neck area, you know, also tingling, numbness, sweating, and labored breathing, and also, and worst of all, paralysis, you know. So you can try to get the anti-venom, you know, there is a treatment for it, but usually by the time you get bitten by one, it's too late for you to seek out treatment unless you're close to a hospital. So the mortality rate from untreated bites by the tiger snake is anywhere between 40 and 60%, you know, so between 40 and 60% of people who are bitten by this snake die because they don't treat the bite, you know, so it's complicated, especially when you're just there in a building minding your own business, you know. You could be a hobo or an office worker, or you're just going to check into a hotel and a freaking snake bites you, man. This is why Australia is so goddamn dangerous. No matter where you go, there's an animal that can kill you. But, you know, 3 snakes in a row, I mean, it's pretty complicated, and they all sort of like, they're kind of cousins, you know. There are other species like the king brown snake, which is actually more considered a black snake, but it's actually not that, it's not as dangerous as these ones that I mentioned, you know. But just be very, very careful, you know, because these snakes, dude, you know, It's kind of funny how every snake seems to have a different neurotoxin, but you know, the taipan brown and tiger snake, you know, make up the bulk of this part here, because now the second to last animal is one of the smallest ones, but also the most deadly, the redback spider. Also known very lovingly as the Australian black widow, this insanely venomous spider has a round spherical body. That was very redundant. A spherical black body, sorry, with the red stripe on the abdomen, so you can actually identify it pretty easily. They tend to live in warm, sheltered places, you know, usually near or inside people's houses. So you might find one in the corner of your ceiling or the ground, the floor, or something. You know, there can be several dozens of them in your house, and you won't even know. They can reproduce really quickly. The females are a little bit larger than the males, you know, usually about like 0.4 inches in length, you know. Now, the thing is that the reason that they're so dangerous is that they are neurotoxic to vertebrates, and with us specifically, they can cause this thing called lactrodectism, which can have symptoms like nausea, vomiting, headaches, agitation, you know. So being bitten by a black widow, whether it's Australian or Western otherwise, you know, is going to be very deadly to in the long run. Now, the thing is that in 1956, there was an anti-venom that was created, so it does exist, but I mean, I don't know if you're gonna get to a hospital in time to treat the bite. You know, maybe it's more might be more practical to have one in your home ready to go. You know, if you can keep anti-venom anywhere in your medicine cabinet. But there might be a black widow in your medicine cabinet, so that might actually be the problem. You know, it's gonna be the thing with the black widow is that it kills its prey in such a horrid way, man. You know, with us it's just a bite and we can die. You know, it can start swelling and itching, but other small animals, oh boy, it's a very painful way to go. And now last but certainly not least, you know, do not think that this is the least in the slightest, you know, because this animal is very dangerous. Yet another spider to wrap this video up, the Sydney funnel web spider. Just to give you guys an idea of how dangerous this spider is, it has been recognized as the world's most venomous spider by Guinness World Records, you know, so yeah, it really does live up to it, you know. It can be about 2 inches long, you know, in length, and usually varying colors, but, you know, normally glossy and dark colored, so maybe dark blue, black, grayish, you know, that kind of thing. They usually live in cool, humid places, you know, like sometimes under rocks, under logs, or in your shoes. Be very careful when you go put on a pair of shoes in Australia, because you never know, they like to, it's like a scorpion, they like to make their homes in smelly old people's shoes. I don't know why, but just be careful, okay? For some reason they like it in there. So now there is anti-venom for it, you know, but the bites can cause very, very serious illness or even death if they are untreated, you know, because usually symptoms from the spider appear within like 30 to 60 minutes, so half an hour to an hour you're going to know that it got you, you know. But I think the scariest thing about this spider is that when it bites you, it doesn't leave, it doesn't like let go, you know. You have to either shake it off or flick it or grab it and throw it, or else it's gonna hook onto you and just stay there, you know. And also this thing can survive underwater, man. This spider can stay underwater for several hours by trapping air bubbles, you know, near its skin. So bro, I mean, if you see one of these spiders at the bottom of a pool or something, it's probably still alive, man. It takes a while for them to drown, so that is probably the scariest part, you know. If you see this spider, which does closely resemble a tarantula, just run, man. If you find one in your house, just give it the keys and move somewhere else, you know. Move to a different country, you know, preferably. My God, man, freaking spiders, man. I hate spiders so much. I hate them, I hate them, I hate them. I hate insects, and I talked about that in this video here. I hate insects so much. Go to freaking hell. But anyway, guys, that is it for today's video, okay? Hopefully it got a little bit shorter than the other ones that I usually do in top 10s, you know. No honorable mentions. I don't want to say anything else. I want to end this because it's making me so uncomfortable. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video here. I have to wrap it up quickly because my battery is low on the camera, so I gotta charge it. And that's it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this, you know, and let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. If you agree, disagree, you want to give some honorable mentions yourself, you know. If you happen to like this video, please go ahead and give it a like, and also subscribe to my channel because I release videos every single day. And while you're at it, hit the notification bell as well so you can know exactly what time I upload. And don't forget, beware of Australia. Don't ever visit. If you do, just be careful. Take plenty of guns, grenades, weapons, you know, and a suit of armor, because all of these animals on this list can kill you very quickly and easily. And that's it, guys. And stay tuned to the outro screen because I'm going to show you the last 2 top 10s that I recorded. So that's it. This is Chazzy signing out for now, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Good eye, mate, and roll the outro screen.